What's going on? Legion here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our daily gaming XP grind, episode 28. And we're going to go over a quick XP update, 256,000 attack. Wood cutting, we've got 798,000. Construction, 1.7 million. Rune crafting, 392,000. Magic, 34,000. Mining, 4,021,000. Artisan, 3,055,000. And cooking, 122,000. So, first we are going to start putting a little bit of things inside of our cooking because we are going to be doing some things away from here and we want to get this started as it just makes sense. Since we're going to be away, it just makes sense to have something going while we're away. So, it looks like every one of these is going to be giving me 24 evasive potions. So it's actually going to be quite good. So we have quite a bit of these animal fangs, and we've been collecting them over the course of time. And ultimately, I don't have a huge use for them. So this just makes sense. I don't really think they will be that important. So we're going to use them. And once we come back, we can activate a cooking potion and then get all the XP from them that they're going to give. So hopefully it's quite a bit of XP. We are going to be putting this ash logs in here. What we're going to be doing is actually leveling up magic. And at the same time, we're going to be gathering flax and dwellberries. So quite a bit actually. And the reason we're gathering up the dwellberries is for cooking. So sort of picking up a little bit where we left off last time, but ultimately the goal here is to level up magic. But it's just sort of a benefit that we're going to be collecting resources to level up cooking. So it really isn't that hard to level up magic. And normally we wouldn't really spend a lot of time out here in a... What is it? This, I just want to make sure. The Storm-Touched Highlands, yes. So the reason is ultimately that there are higher level creatures out here compared to the ones that are going to be in the beginner area. So it's definitely going to be better XP and you're going to be leveling up your magic faster. So we do have to watch out for Garu, especially if we get hunted. We're almost certainly going to die. Only because they're just so powerful. I mean, obviously, yes, you can survive, but it's just really difficult. I mean, I've got leggings of lightness on, so that's already a disadvantage because we don't have our set bonus. We're not using melee, so we don't have a shield, and magic doesn't seem to be a super efficient way to basically fight against multiple enemies that are a significant higher level. So I would like to take a second here to say, if you haven't already subscribed, we would greatly appreciate it if you did. We really appreciate your support. So anyway, we're going to keep going. And if you're noticing a lot of rune essence on the ground, that's because we are going to be heavily focusing on gathering rune essence shortly here. Not necessarily right this second, but in one of the future videos. So we've already started to amass quite a bit of nodes on the ground, and it's going to be a huge focus. So we're going to have to start placing a lot more lodestones all over the game that we know that sort of hold lots of rune essence. And we already got a couple different ideas of where that is going to be, so we will slowly be doing that. And we already got all these dwellberries, quite a bit of dwellberries. So it's pretty easy, really. And then you also sort of, the more you play, you learn the safe areas that are relatively safe. Because this region can actually be quite treacherous at times. I guess it all really depends. It seems like nighttime is definitely not the time you want to be sort of hunting around here. It just, a lot more enemies seem to appear. And then also it can be a little bit easy to sort of get lost out here. So it makes it a little bit easier to sort of just be at a disadvantage. So we are going to be picking the flax as we are trying to get our mannequins filled up with gear. So obviously this is an important ingredient to get the coarse thread. which is also very important when you're trying to build more mannequins, and it's also important when you're trying to build some of the armor, because right now we need a lot more of the mage armor, so one of the basic level ones, so we got to get a lot more of that. I won't go that way because see, these guys sort of respond sometimes if you go a little bit away, so there's quite a bit of them. I'm really excited for the new content that they're going to be giving us in December, maybe even potentially a little bit in also, yeah, in September when range comes to the game. Hopefully they add a couple different creatures we can kill, and just sort of add a little bit of more variety to the game. But even then, September, then you're only 2 months away from really cool things coming to the game. So quite excited about that. But hopefully in this video we can at least get our magic leveled up and collect quite a bit of resources, so that way we can continue to progress in our quest here. So I do already have a bunch of stuff in here. I guess I didn't empty it last time, so you can see how fast your resources build up, and all those resources are very important, and you're going to want to keep them. Don't just sort of leave things all over the ground, because it becomes a problem later. Even if you're not trying to get necessarily like to 99 right now, they can help you do that. So ultimately, I mean, I've got quite a bit of XP in certain skills, and I'm not actually sure what's going to be required to get to level 99. So, I mean, I might have overshot it by quite a bit, but I don't really think so, because I think you have to think to yourself, they want there to be a progression in the game, and they want people to keep playing. So I think that's a pretty big thing when you know that someone's going to keep playing the game because they're trying to get to level 99. So, you know, if people haven't played RuneScape before, like RuneScape 3, old school RuneScape, that's a huge part of the game. I mean, at first you sort of start to play, and then you figure a little bit of it out, and then you're like, hey, like, I want to get max. Like, so it sort of starts to become really important in the game. And now I'm at a sort of interesting situation, because I don't know if I want to start shooting these down, because these ones just happen to respawn, but not a bunch of them did, so I guess I will shoot those down. It won't take too much time. But it's quite crazy, because when you first start playing this game, you sort of leave things on the ground, or you don't necessarily collect everything, and you don't really know the importance. Because it is a survival game, but obviously a lot of these different skills, they take a considerable amount of things to create to actually reach just level 50, depending on which one. Cooking, now that you can't clean dirty water anymore and get a good amount of XP, that's definitely one of them. So you're going to really want to collect all the stuff that you can in regards to cooking, which means you're going to have to kill quite a bit of creatures. So also leveling up attack can be quite time consuming, but I mean, the game's really easy to like. I don't think there's a lot of problems with the game, so I don't think it would be too difficult to sort of find enjoyment in playing the game and progressing. So you can see we've got quite a bit of rune essence. It's all over the ground. So the only thing I could say with that is we definitely need to add a lot of lodestones, because I mean, yes, you could just sort of run over, but since we've got so many Vark cores, it's not really a huge deal to have to make a couple more. One thing I'm trying to be conscious of, is that they have stated that the new expansion that's going to be coming to the game in December is going to make the map basically 2 to 2.25, maybe 2.5 times the size of the map that we currently are seeing. So you do have to say to yourself, either go get a bunch more vault cores, or sort of save some of the ones you got now, because you're going to need them, because they've obviously planned to add a massive amount of terrain, or I guess space in the game. So it's going to be important that you can save yourself enough vault cores to sort of benefit from that, right? So you can sort of teleport around these new areas, and I'm very certain that there's going to be a lot of potential dangers while you're playing the game in these new Areas are going to have monsters and potentially different mechanics in the game that have to do with survival. So you're going to want to have lodestones around so you can get back to your body. The reason we're stuck right now is because we're next to the Titanic and our Golden Gate Bridge. So we're sort of stuck right now. We're just waiting for everything to load in. And we actually try not to spend too much time in a game near this area anymore for that specific reason. But it's actually quite cool. You can actually see our Space Needle behind the Golden Gate Bridge. So it actually looks really cool. We haven't actually shown anyone that, I don't think. So it's sort of we haven't really went back to look on it either, but we definitely put a little bit of time into it, and it's our latest creation, but we haven't really been building, so it's definitely in the early stages, and at some point we will jump back to it, because, I mean, at night time it really does have a cool look to it, so I'm going to go ahead and fill this back up. Thank goodness for that personal chest. You know, I didn't even know about the personal chest for the longest time. I didn't. And someone who plays the game so much and needs every bit of inventory space that you can have, I mean, it made a huge difference. So we just got to keep looking for creatures to kill. Obviously, the sheep and the ram. But we are leveling up our magic quite fast. So we should easily hit level 49 rather quickly here. And then we'll head back to the base and get everything that we put inside of our little cooking stations. And then that will probably be our time for the day. But there's 3 places. Well, that's not one of them. You got to be careful right here. So you want to make sure not to be too close, because essentially what's going to happen is there is a corridor right there, and some pretty nasty creatures spawn right there that if you accidentally aggro them, you're going to potentially have yourself a little bit of a situation. There are some sheep over here, but you got to be careful how close you get down there to that corridor, as those guys are no fun. And sometimes the guy with the shield's over there, and if he hits you, it's not instant death, but basically one more hit and you're dead. So that's important to remember. But we also have the leggings of lightness on, so we do lose our set bonus, but still incredibly powerful and incredibly deadly. So you just ultimately don't even want to like mess with him. You could try to kill him because he does provide really good XP, but I don't know, it's like a lot of work and fuss, and there's an easier way to get the XP, so it just doesn't really make, it's not worth it. But interestingly enough, if you want to consider other things, like hopefully the new creatures that they plan to add to the game aren't too crazy. I mean, some of the ones currently in the game right now can be actually quite difficult. Even this creature here might actually kill me if I'm not careful. So I think it's really important. Oh, we got 1 HP and I'm dead. So this is pretty horrible. It's my fault. I should have been further away. It seems like the farther you are away when you attack those, it gives you a little bit more time to attack them because they're at a distance. So their ability is going to take a little bit more time to reach you. But then also with that is that's part of it. So you get a little bit more time. And it also seems like there's some sort of weird thing when you're further away. They have a little bit of time responding to attacking you. So it sort of gives you a little bit more time. I really don't even want to mess with it again, but I guess we will. Also, our character needs to sleep too, it seems. But that sort of stopped his ability, except that one got me pretty good there. So we got to hurry up and finish this guy off, as I don't want to die again. And you are going to die in the game, so, I mean, there's really nothing to be upset about or feel like, you know, you haven't progressed. It's just sometimes you're going to die. I mean, it is a survival game, so it's quite okay. We need to find a little bit more creatures to kill so that way we can get our level here, because we are really close. It's so weird how much flax I've passed up while playing the game, because my focus has been on so many different things at once, and it's just kind of crazy. But we are getting close to getting this level, and we're probably going to have to use our storage chest one more time, but it's just interesting. There's an archer down there. He could probably really help us, but there's 2 there. I don't really want to have to deal with both of them right now. It's just quite a bit, so we don't want to do that. Let's see. I think there's some more dwellberries right here. and then we'll probably head down over there, and hopefully some more have respawned that we can kill. Oh, we got a wolf here. Interesting, 2 of them. They usually aren't there. And there's another one. That's very unusual for them to be there. So and there's another one out there. And this actually might be able to get us the magic level we need. So let's go ahead and go over here. It's interesting. I usually don't see wolves over here. So close to this magic level. But we're out of, I guess, like energy or stamina. There we go. So now he's dead. And I didn't see any sheep or ram. So let's see. Maybe we can find another one over here and get this magic level. I've got a little bit of lag going on, I just noticed on the screen. So, oh, we've got, oh, what's this? Oh, that's not good. I think we're going to have to do this with attack, honestly, because if we want any chance of surviving this, we're going to have to kill him in a different way. Because these guys are actually really strong. Oh, I tried to block. I don't even know why that didn't block, but now we're dead again. So I'm actually really irritated a little bit because I pretty much did what I could do there and I still died. So I don't know. But this is just a good indicator of why I really don't like to spend a lot of time in a storm-touched islands unless I absolutely have to. Because ultimately, yes, you're going to be getting more XP for the things that you kill, and you're going to be getting better resources. But obviously, what you're going to encounter is, oh my gosh, you see what I'm talking about right here. So now I'm poisoned, and I just got back, and just a bad situation. So unlucky for sure. So hopefully we can escape without getting hit by anything else, so we don't have to basically come back to our body again. So now I'm in a situation where I really have to decide, oh my gosh, lightning. Sometimes it's interesting. You know, when I used to do certain things in the game and I was close to getting there, I used to feel like the game was actually targeting me. Like it knew I was trying to progress in something and it was like, no, we're not going to allow that right now. Like we see the progression that you're making and we need to derail you and sort of slow you down. So they do that. It seemed obviously that's a little bit ridiculous and sort of a conspiracy, but I'm sure other people have felt that way, especially when Velgar used to come above your base. It was like you just get back from some vault or something and you just felt like, oh yes, we did great in there, and then out of nowhere you just die and some stuff gets you, or Velgar comes to your base and it just wreaks havoc, and all you can think in your mind is, there's a reason for this, and it's because the game doesn't want me to have that feeling of success and progression. But that's obviously clearly crazy. So we are so close right now. We just need to kill a couple more creatures, but we may as well grab some dwell berries while we're over here. Stuck in the lightning, out of stamina. So I don't. Oh, my backpack's full. It's weird. I didn't see anything on the screen to indicate that. But we're getting massive amounts of resources. But certain resources obviously take a lot more time to get. So I'm interested to see how many mannequins we can fill with armor before December. I think that's going to be a crazy little adventure all in itself. Just to see how big of an army we can amass. I don't really think I'm going to need a lot of the resources from these regions once those new areas come out in Valhalla. So, just be interesting to see. But we're so close right now. Hopefully after we kill this ram and this other sheep, we will actually level up. But I'm not quite sure, so we'll see. That wasn't enough. So, we are still close. I guess we just got to find like maybe one more creature. Let's see. I'm interested to see also if they come out with achievements in the game. Maybe like kill 1,000 sheep or something like that. But then you might have to follow suit with other creatures. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I really don't want to kill 1,000 abyssal demons. So maybe 100 or something, or 200. Even 200 seems like quite a bit of an abyssal demon. But because they take time to respawn and then you've got to find them. So it would be a quite irritating one. But anyway, there you are, level 49 magic. So we are going to head back to our base. We will kill this sheep since we're right here. So we've just got one level left, and then we'll max for early access magic. So it's quite exciting. Just putting in persistence and determination and grinding, really. So we are going to go back to our base. We are going to pop a cooking potion and then pick up all the stuff that we had cooking. And then on the next episode, we will be discussing what we're going to be doing. We've already got our plan ready and everything, so we're quite excited about it. There's so much stuff too I have in chests I haven't even really shown you guys, so that's going to be really exciting at some point when I decide that I want to go do that. So we got quite a bit of dwell berries, about 114, so I got no more room in there, and we'll put this in here. So we're just amassing a ridiculous amount of things. So let's go ahead and pop a cooking potion, and let's go ahead and pick all this stuff up. So we got 1998 cooking XP, actually 2016, 2034. So 2034. So anyway, we're going to do another XP update, even though we really didn't do a lot in other skills. Why not? 256,000 attack XP. We did work on that slightly and then died. Woodcutting 798,000. Construction 1.7 million. Rune crafting 392,000. Magic 36,788. Mining 4,021,000. Artisan 3,055,000. And cooking 124,941. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for right now. We really appreciate you guys a lot for watching our content. So until next time, Legion Nuda out.